Hello friends, welcome you all in the video Finite Automata Introduction to Finite Automata. In our last video we have discussed regarding the basic terminologies which are used for understanding of the finite automata. We have discussed that finite automata is nothing but it is an abstract machine which simulates the functioning of theoretical branch of computer science. It is basically a theoretical branch of computer science and mathematics, and it is a model of the computer system that may be either hardware or software. It is used to study the analysis of how the computer system works. It consists of input and output and produce or certain operation is will perform on the set of inputs, so it can be thought as a processor, and it can also be used for studying the computation problem or solve the computation problem by using these abstract machines. So basically the finite automata is basically an abstract machine which is basically used for certain computation, and it can also be used for performing certain solving certain problems also. So we have seen that finite automata, the basic terminology is it has number of states, and it basically operates based on certain inputs, and it goes from one state to another state. So basic terminology used in the automata are symbols like alphabets or digits, and they are denoted by set of that alphabets or digits. This is denoted by a symbol that is called as sigma. Sigma, or it may be collection of alphabets or digits or symbols. And by using those alphabets, we are going to construct the string. So it is finite collection of symbols from the alphabets, and it is denoted by string is denoted by small w. So it may be collection of string like combination of the alphabet like A, B, and all the possible combinations with that particular. So if there are zero occurrence of the characters in that particular string, so it is called as null string, and it is denoted by epsilon. And number of symbols, or that is length of the string, is denoted by mod of w. For example, if input string is 010, so the length of that particular string will be mod of w, it is equal to 3. Now we have discussed regarding this string and some alphabets. So by using alphabet we are going to form the string, and from string we are going to form the language. So language is a collection of appropriate string. So basic things are symbols. By using symbol we are going to construct a string, and by using a string we are going to construct a language. So language which is formed is a collection of appropriate string, or it is formed over the sigma, that is the finite or infinite. For example, language set of strings of length 2, example will be A, B, like that. All the characters which are all the input strings, or all the input which are having the input is like that. Now set of all strings start with A, so that particular thing, in that case this will be the particular string, so it is a combination, and you can say it is an infinite language. So in this way the basic terminology we have studied. Now we are going to study regarding the finite automata and definition and the symbols which are used in finite automata, and all that things we are going to study now. So now coming to the finite automata. A finite automata are used to recognize patterns. So basic operation or basic application of finite automata is that it is basically used for recognize the patterns. So it is basically used for identifying the patterns which are present in the input string. It takes the string of the symbol as the input, changes its state accordingly, means during this input, during this performance of operation, so automata may change its state. So based on the input, it will go to the next state, So like that it will change the state from one state to another state. So when the desired symbol is found, the transition occurs. So based on the desired input symbol, it will go from one input state to another state. At the time of transition, the automata can either move to the next state or it stays in the same state. So as we have seen that the finite automata may move from one state to another state, or it can have the transition to the same state based on the input symbol. And the states of the finite automata can be either accept state or reject state based on the input. So when the input string is processed successfully, the automata reaches to the final state, then it will accept. Means how we can know that that particular input string it is accepted by finite automata means after reading the input string from moving one state to another state, if we reach the final state, then we can say that that input string is accepted by finite automata. If it is not leading to the final state, then we can say that that particular input string is not accepted by the finite automata. So in this way, the automata basically work to move from one state to another state based on the input string, and during this process, if it reaches the final state, so we can say that that input string is accepted by the finite automata, otherwise it is rejected by the finite automata if we are not leading if it is not leading to the final state. Now we can define the finite automata as it is a collection of tuples, 5 tuples. So Q, capital Q, sigma, delta, Q0 and F. So these are the 5 tuples. So finite automata is a collection of tuples. So where Q is a finite set of states, sigma is the finite set of input symbols, Q0 is initial state, F is the final state, and delta is the transition function. So we can say that finite automata is basically a collection of tuples. So it has finite set of state, finite set of input symbol, initial state, final state, transition function. So these are basically the 5 things which are defined or which are used to define the finite automata. That's why it is called 5 tuples. So finite automata model can be represented with the abstract view or abstract diagram. So finite automata can be represented by input tape and finite control. Input tape is a linear tape having some number of cells. Each input symbol is placed in each cell. Finite control decides the next state on receiving the particular input from the input tape. The tape reads the cell one by one from left to right, and at a time only one input symbol is read. So one input symbol is read at a time. So like this. So in this diagram, we can understand the diagram by using the diagram, the functionality of the finite automata in this way that it has the input which is in the form of input tape, and that input tape is divided into different cells. So each input symbol is placed in that particular input cell, and finite automata can read this particular input string or input symbols with the help of finite control and reading the character by character or input symbol from the input symbol like that. So in this way it will read all the input symbols. So that has to be decided by the finite control how to move from one direction to another direction. Now finite automata can be divided into 2 types, that is called as deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata. So it is basically a finite automata is divided into 2 types, DFA and NFA. DFA stands for deterministic finite automata and NFA stands for non-deterministic finite automata. So that division or type of automata, it is represented with the help of diagram. So it is deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata. So this is the total types of the finite automata. Now first we are going to study what is the meaning of DFA. So is refers DFA refers to deterministic finite automata. Deterministic refers to the uniqueness of the computation. In DFA, the machine goes to one state from one state to another state after a particular input character. And DFA does not accept null moves. Null moves means the move which are not having any input string or input symbol. So on that particular thing, if there are null input symbols are there, so DFA cannot accept that. So in this way, the DFA can be defined that is deterministic finite automata. It refers to the uniqueness of computation. So it does not accept the null input or null symbols, or it does not have null moves. So that is called as DFA. Now coming to the non-deterministic finite automata or NFA. NFA stands for non-deterministic finite automata. It is used to transmit any number of states for a particular input, and it can accept null moves also. So non-deterministic finite automata basically used to transmit any number of states for a particular input symbol. So for a particular input symbol, there may be move from one state to many states. But in case of DFA, there will be definite one move to the input symbol. And second thing is that non-deterministic finite automata does not accept null moves, whereas non-deterministic finite automata accept null moves, and whereas deterministic finite automata does not accept null moves. So this is basically the difference between the DFA and NFA is that in case of DFA, there will be one move corresponding to the input symbol from one state to another state, only one move, that is it will go from one state to only another one state. But in case of non-deterministic finite automata, there may be on a particular input symbol, there may be more than one move from one state to another state. It can move from one state to more than one state on non-deterministic finite automata. Second thing is that in case of non-deterministic finite automata, on null moves are not possible, means on no input there will be no transition. There will be a transition, means there will be empty string transitions are also there. So this is basically the categories of that DFA and NFA. Some important point that we are going to discuss here is that every DFA is NFA, but every NFA is not DFA. So this is one important point we have to remember, that every deterministic finite automata is non-deterministic finite automata, but non-deterministic finite automata is not deterministic. Vice versa is not possible. So this is one important point we have to remember. The next point is that there can be multiple final state in both NFA and DFA. So there will be multiple final states in NFA and DFA. DFA is used in lexical analysis in compiler. So deterministic finite automata has the application that in the lexical analysis of compilation process it is used. And NFA is more of a theoretical concept. So NFA is basically a theoretical concept, and DFA is basically used in the lexical analyzer phase of the compiler, where the target program or high level language program, it is divided into different tokens, basic unit of the program, which are used for understanding the purpose of the program and what are the basic input and output present in the program. So basically, these are some important points which we have to remember regarding DFA and NFA, that is deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata. They can be used for study. So we have seen that DFA is used in lexical analysis and NFA is a theoretical concept, means it has certain applications based on the theory, and practically the DFA is used in the lexical analyzer phase of the compiler. So in this video we have discussed regarding few terminologies related to the DFA and NFA. In the next video we will discuss regarding how to construct the transition diagram, and based on that transition diagram we will discuss few examples also.